If it went badly, I was less. But not only did it have to go well, I had to suffer in service of it going well. What does don't half-ass it mean to you?
If you're going to do it, do it. Say what you can do. Do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over-leverage yourself. Don't over-leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're going to try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it. Find out. Come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, if I just would have. That keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you half-ass something and you just don't know whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want, finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it. I went all the way. I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to. I talk about this in the book. He wasn't only giving me permission, he was giving me a responsibility. He was going, I had his word with me in my future decisions. I was making them for more than myself. I wanted to fail less because I didn't want to embarrass him. And that was extra motivation, extra strength, extra courage, extra sobriety, extra like, well, let's find out. Go for it, man. Go for it. It carried on into other stories of other jobs. Time to Kill with Joe Schumacher going, I want the lead. That's me going, I want to find out. And Dad told me not to half-ass it back there a few years ago, you know? So if I don't go for it, if I embarrass myself, I'm embarrassing him. So that was also some incentive and some weight behind those moves that I made, some of them.
Are you a brave person in that way, do you think?
I don't know. People say that I don't think I take enough risk. I'm told that people whose opinion I admire think that that's my greatest asset, that I take the risk I'll take and the bravery I'll take with me.
And you still have a hunger for more?
I think I'm still a chicken shit. I mean, not overall, but I think there's many things that I'm not fully assing. I think there's many things that I'm still could take further, that there's still many things that more risk I could take and more bravery I could have. Yeah. Oh, fate'll have it. This too shall pass. I'm fine. No, because then you don't deal with the crisis. I do have a pretty quick threshold for being able to laugh, like honestly start giggling when I'm in the shit, because I've found that I'm able to handle the shit better if I just the quicker I start going, are you kidding me? And I'll get objective and remind myself things like, you gonna die, McConaughey, which gives me that, so what, this is not as big of a deal as I thought. I also quickly somehow comes in my head, not right now, but one day this is gonna be a great fucking story. I quickly go to that. I'll project forward into those places that ease me a little bit and at least maybe look at it with a good eye.
You're almost imagining being that future you, laughing back at this present you.
Yeah. And I think that goes back to the faith and belief that, again, I'm nervous before I'm going to go speak or something. I got a little thing in my wallet. You're going to die one day, McConaughey. And I'm like, that relaxes me. If I'm going in, complacent, I got another note and tell myself, what you're about to say and do will outlive you. So you better fucking do it well, to get me more on edge.
People who take responsibility for things that aren't their responsibility. We often get told pieces of advice in the modern world. It might not be your fault, but it is your responsibility. And one of the ways to unburden yourself is to assume that everything is. But there is a cohort of people.
It's an arrogant notion. Yeah.
Look at how if only I could have stepped in. Yeah, you make yourself
but
the
also
center.
The first side. I'm the reason that I stepped in shit, which is also an asset. Even if someone go, why are you giving yourself so much credit for screwing that up?
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, if it went badly, I was less. But not only did it have to go well, I had to suffer in service of it going well.
Yeah.
Because if it went well but came easily, that was also somehow lesser.
For me, I felt like it was a sin almost.
Yes.
Not a disease, but more of a sin. I was like, I didn't pay a penance there, man. I didn't give it enough tithe. I didn't, like I said, break the proverbial sweat, draw the blood to earn that thing. And yet I'm getting all this when you do succeed. And a lot of people go, nope, that's nothing. I I prescribed it. I think we should take some time to be able to look in the mirror and own that thing that we pulled off and go, good job. That's what you wanted. It's what you got. At the same time, be able to, as we do more often, look in the mirror when we fail and go, bogey, you did
Own that
not
one
pull
too.
that off. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's kind of big in the ownership idea, the fail or the gain, ownership being really important. And I don't, I'm a fan of the ego. I wish people, someone said this to me before. Look, this acquaintance said this. It came off the cuff. I didn't even think about it. She was like, somebody, Matthew, you're so full of yourself. And I, without thinking, I was like, well, who else am I supposed to be full of?
That's a good line.
And I stopped after. I was like, that's exactly what I meant. And I went and wrote that down. I wish more people were more full of themselves. Not in the arrogant way, but I'm talking about a healthy ego to understand. And I understand the ego's difference between I and me. Me's the objective, but to know the I wish more people, I wish we were more full of ourselves. I wish more people in the world were more full of themselves. I think part of the challenges in life is a lot of us are running around half-assing ourselves, half-fooling ourselves, not full of ourselves, not studying ourselves enough, not holding ourselves to task enough, not patting our own self on the back when we do get what we want enough, not cracking our own whip on our backside when we do get out of line even though we knew better. I wish we were more full of ourselves that way.
The guy that was sat there yesterday, Dwayne, I asked him something not too dissimilar about self-esteem. He took a little while. He said, I like me. I'd buy me a beer. I just thought, that's so fucking great.
Yeah, man.
I'd buy me a beer.
I'd buy me a beer. Hey, he's shaking hands with himself.
One of my favorite things I've learned from you is when things are going well, given that that's presumably what you want to have more of, maybe worth deconstructing that.
Yes. I wish I could more, and I think more of us could all deconstruct our assets. Happiness, you can't guarantee it, but there is a science to satisfaction. There, you can look at habits that engineered less pain in your life, maybe more pleasure, but at least less pain. And that's a win. I try to deconstruct. Look, do I write it? Did I used to write as much? Look at anybody who's ever kept a diary. What's the old sort of nostalgic idea of a diary? You go there when you're in pain and you share thoughts that you don't want to share with anyone else of those reflection. And I did used to, for some reason, I don't know why, but would force myself to write every day, no matter how happy I was. And I didn't a lot of times want to go write when I was happy because I was like, no, I don't need to write it. I don't need to become conscious of it.
I'm having too much fun. It's getting in the way.
Come on, I'm doing it. It's living, it's happening. But, and in writing Greenlights, when I went back, that's a lot of the consistencies that I found that I wrote when things were going well, that I was taking for some reason, taking time to go, can I try and bottle some science here to why things are going well? And I did find consistencies. Who I was hanging out with at night, what I was drinking, what bar I was at, what food I was drinking, how exercise, preparation for work, for school. And I found things I was like, you were really happy in this segment of your life. Let's go back and look at what you were doing. Oh, man, I had Augmentino scrolls. I was on them every day. I had some discipline where I was checking in with myself. Oh, you were going to church on Sundays. You were giving, you were saying thank you, God, before you went to bed each night. You were appreciating more. You were pointing out beautiful things and not taking them for granted. And so I found a list of things. I'm like, and when I get off track, I try to remind myself, you've been slacking on some of those.
To let go of something good,
yeah,
for the chance at something that you think could be great.
Yeah.
I think that's something that a lot of people wish that they had a little bit more fuel for.
It was a big risk. It was a big chance. And it was no guaranteed return ticket. It was a one-way ticket, possibly to I'm a head coach of high school football to this day,
One-way ticket to a dead end.
or to something new, but a one-way ticket to a dead end in Hollywood. It's an actor for sure. Look, it's no coincidence that at that time, to have the courage to make that decision, I did have really cool things going on in my life. I'd fallen in love with Camilla. She'd just become pregnant with her first child. That gave me some significance of like, that's what I've always wanted to be. As a father, here we go. If I stick with it, this will give me a home base to feel secure in, even though I'm stepping away from what has given me significance for so many years and decades in my life. Having her to sit there, as much as I knew it was the right decision, and it was a 3 a.m. decision in my own soul, she's always been very good with me about going, now say it out loud, and here's what we're going to do. If we're doing this, she's the one that said, this could be dry for who knows how long. You may not get work ever again, but if we're going to do this, I'll be here by your side, and we're doing it together. And there's no going back. We're not going to get nerves at the goal line if we don't know where the goal line is. We're not going to get down the line and go, oh, I pulled the parachute.
Even if it's a $14 million parachute.
Even if it's $14 million parachute. Even if it doesn't work out and you become a teacher or you go become a lawyer again, whatever. So making that a choice that was inevitable, that there was no pulling the parachute on, sure as hell helped with the endurance of me being away for what was 20 months. I learned a lot of endurance in that year in Australia, though. Same way, that gave me very thick skin for enduring something. So that 20 months was really hard. And I've said it before, that proverbial bottle on the shelf was looking better and better earlier in the day as time went on. I mean, how many more times could I work in the damn garden, man? I'm like, I'm not a gardener for life. I like this, but I gotta, come on, man. But she helped me stay steady. I stayed steady. My faith helped me stay steady. I did have a real belief, whether I was tricking myself or not, that there's a bigger pot of gold for me on the other side of this if I just out-endure it. I'll out-endure this so much. And it became a little like the year in Australia. I started to gain pride and honor with the longer the penance went on of being without what I wanted. And I started to be like, well, I definitely ain't backing out now, man. Yeah. I'm 6 months in.
Turns into momentum.
All in a year later, I'm like, I'm a year in, man. This is getting good. Okay, come on. And out of the blue, 20 months later, I'd been gone long enough to become a new good idea. I was shaky, but never was I going to go, okay, I'll go back.
Ripcord.
I'll do it. Never was I going to pull the parachute. And, what if I didn't? What if those calls never came? Would I regret that sitting here now? I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't be sitting here now. But I bet everything I got, there's no way I'd regret it. Whatever I'd be doing in my life right now, I would have said this opened up. We just started off the conversation with this. The things you don't get. Put us more in places where we are, where we find our own satisfaction than the things that we do get in many ways. I mean, like I say, it's, life's mystery going forward, the science looking back. When you look back, we can all connect every single dot. It's mathematical, scientific how we got to this table right here. We got plans for this afternoon, but we're not sure what's going to happen. But everything looking back, it's all connected if we go back and look at it. And there's a whole lot of, I thought that was the end. Well, it was the end, but it was the beginning of this thing. Or I caught that red light and therefore made me 60 seconds later to get to that cafe where I met that movie producer or that woman who became my wife or whatever that is. It don't make sense at the time, but boy, looking back, it's all a science.
There were a lot of people around me that were people I didn't want to be. And I was able to plant flagpoles in the ground that helped me to avoid the catastrophes and the tragedies that would have awaited me had I have done that. So I don't want his relationship with his family.
Yeah.
I don't want the way that he drinks in order to be able to deal with his emotions. I don't want the way that he speaks negatively about all situations. I don't like the way that some of the prices that people need to pay in order to be who they are.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by this question. I'm fascinated by the cost of entry, price of doing business, to be a person that other people admire. Because I think that helps to humanize others' success, and it helps to mitigate jealousy and envy, because you see what someone has had to go through in order to be in a position that you think you want to be. And they go, oh,
Right.
you get to see this much. By the way, there's this monster hiding
Right.
behind. Type A people with type B problems, and type B people with type A problems.
Okay.
So the insecure overachiever needs to learn how to lie in a hammock,
Yeah.
and the lazy person who's on the verge of bankruptcy needs David Goggins shouting in their face,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing is, because of culture and because of the way that people are perceived, a person who is overworked but outwardly very successful will always seem to be in a more preferable position than someone who's on the verge of bankruptcy and needs to get off Xbox, right? So we gift more sympathy because it seems charitable, right? It seems supportive to the person who you just need to work harder.
Yeah.
Think about what you have contributed to the world, which are movies. In every movie, the training montage of the down underdog is them working hard and learning to get up on time and be disciplined and so on and so forth. I don't know of any movies where a guy learns to log out of Slack at 6 p.m.
Right.
and lie on a beach holiday. Right? How like opulent and transactional and dopaminergic are you that you need to be taught how to chill out? You not know there's people out there that would kill to be in the position that you are?
That's the dialogue right there. That's interesting. How about a movie about the a low handicap movie for the type A that needs to learn how to
Chill
get
out.
off Slack and go hang in a hammock, and pulls that off. And don't ask permission to tell it. don't ask for boo-hoos for the character. Just because no one's showing that. I mean, look, what do we do today? What are the things going? You probably know better than I do. There's a lot of, it's like people have gotten much more into meditation. Successful people got much more into meditation.
Mm-hmm.
You brought one up earlier. Psilocybin is now sort of an avant-garde sort of hair. Hey man, this is a way to
Breathwork, cold plunge, sauna, sound healing.
Yeah. Now, how many of those are we going to look at in 10 years and go, that was a fad? How many of those are we going to go, that was a really cool discovery?
Well, here's the vicious thing about those modalities, that a lot of people, I call it productivity purgatory, which is the things that you do for fun, you only do in order to be able to service more productivity when you get back to it.
Right.
So why do you do your breath work? Not because it makes me feel good and I like to do breath work, but because I watched an Andrew Huberman podcast episode that said that it allows me to work 15% harder the next day. And you go, no. Like, your recovery modalities should be in service of themselves.
Do you think this is if we're going to call it a sin or disease, I'm going to do that for stereotype and typical word. Do you think this is a sin or disease of the West? Because, for instance, I'm in Italy, and we were with this wonderful couple, older couple, and they're both like 80, and they were just had their shit together, man. And the lady was in great shape. I get great shape. She goes, I swim around this island each day, and then they swim there, and my question was, how far do you swim? And she was like, what? I swim until I don't want to swim anymore. I was like, it's a very Western idea. How far? How much time? She was like, I swim until I don't want to swim anymore.